No matter what happens in these NBA finals, Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets,
Himmy bucket.
Himmy Buckets. I
Himmy bucket.
think he just trademarked
He
that
just
too, by the way.
trademarked it. Yeah.
Smart businessman. Okay. Him.
Rachel Nichols, boo boo.
All right. All right.
What?
Oh.
Rachel Nichols Bay.
Jimmy and the Heat have been on a historic run. Okay.
Yeah.
They knocked off the team with the best record in the whole NBA in the Bucks. Now, my boy Giannis did miss basically 3 games. Okay. But Tyler Hero, a 20-point per game score for the Heat. They ain't had him the whole fucking run. Okay. Yeah. And then at least Giannis did come back. All right. So they knocked them off.
Yeah.
Knocked off the Knicks. Okay.
They did.
A feisty Knicks. You know, a Knicks, that team that, you know, trying to play a little bit this year. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You know how crazy it is playing in MSG.
Over his former coach.
You know how Teals feel about them kind of players.
He loved Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. So. All right, knocked them off. Looked like they were on the verge of sweeping Boston.
It was supposed to happen.
Looked like it was about to be a sweep, and then I guess they just took their foot off the gas, or Boston woke up. I don't know.
Boston woke up. I'm gonna say they woke up.
Looked like they should have had it in 6. They should have definitely had it in 6 if somebody just put an ass on somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
They knocked them off in 7.
Yep.
In Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as the media keeps saying, they got 50-11 undrafted players. Okay. 17 undrafted players. I don't know.
7. I think it's 7.
But in the rotation, they got like at least 3 guys maybe in the rotation that ain't drafted, if I'm not mistaken. That's actually getting some tick.
Yeah, Gabe, Caleb.
Did Duncan Robinson get drafted?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I think they got about 3 guys in the rotation that went undrafted. You know what I'm saying? Which speaks to what people thought their talent was. Not saying these guys can't hoop. There's some motherfuckers that don't. Hell, one of my former players didn't get drafted, and that motherfucker will come in your gym and dunk on your ass. Okay.
Right.
So we ain't saying they can't hoop because they went undrafted, but relative to what the GMs and everything thought their talent was, okay, it wasn't there, as people saw. But what this team is showing, that they got heart. Oh, let me back up. They in shape. That's number one. They in shape. Yeah. Because they damn heat culture, they do that body fat test and all that shit, and they go. These boys, if you listen to these Heat boys on these podcasts, they tell you right now that when they even go out, they be scared to eat shit. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna be in shape, they're gonna be disciplined, they're gonna play hard, and they heal. Yeah. So the question is, where does Jimmy's run with the Heat rank all time? And when we talking all time, we talking about teams like the 2001 Sixers with AI and them boys. We talking Bron's 2007 run with the Cavs. Bron's 2018 run with the Cavs. Teams like that come to mind. You feel me? Pick a Jason Kidd team, whether it be the
01 Nets.
01,
02 Nets. Which one was it?
02, yeah. And 02, that's when we played them. The Lakers played them in 02, and then they played the Spurs in 03. Okay. So pick one of those. J Kidd is the only one that, is on these top 75 lists and shit like that off of that team. You know what I'm talking about? So where do they rank?
Man. They could be all-time great. This run could be all-time great.
Oh, and my bad. I know some people in New York might be pissed that I ain't mentioned they 1999 Knicks. I'm sorry, but I don't recall like one guy being like the one shouldering all that. seemed like that was a unit. Like
Yeah,
Allen Houston and LJ and all them guys,
yeah, yeah. It was
making
more of
plays
a unit.
together.
Yeah, it was a little more of a unit there. This run here, speaks to how do I, because I had a way I wanted to describe this run. As you see, you look at the segment, the opening segment, and you'll say, well, why is he wearing the Miami Heat hat? Got it. But here's the thing. The Miami Heat culture is something that is always to be respected. As long as there's an Eric Spoelstra and a Pat Riley, and then maybe they're grooming some guys coming up. Maybe Caron Butler is the next guy to come along and bring that kind of, keep that culture going.
Maybe as
But
the coach.
yeah, as a coach, like say if Spo was a step down,
Do you think Zoe gonna take over for Pat?
he's
You know,
sitting
it's in
next.
every frame.
He's
They
sitting next to
always,
Pat Tough.
yeah.
Either that or they selling coke. Something going on because Zoe be sitting there looking too tough right there. I don't know what's going on. It's something. Them two there, they looking like
They be right there. And Zoe be
it's
dressed
like
to the
Miami
T,
Vice
goddamn.
around this mug or
Yeah.
something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Zoe was the one that was handpicked per se. But I mean, you also there's probably an endearment there because of Zoe, and the health and stuff back when he was a player and all that. So it probably just kind of one of those things that just kind of developed into a lifelong bond or something between those two. Being honest, I mean, but this one here, they got to be at least top 3 all time in terms of this kind of run because they just had a lot of people fooled. They had me fooled, like straight up. As a Heat fan, as a Jimmy fan, they just had me fooled, man. I didn't see none of this coming. I wasn't gonna say if I'd have listened, if I'd have called this one, if I'd have said that he would go into the finals pre-playoffs, Nick Wright just gonna give me his job. Like just gonna get that on up. Just gonna let me be great. You gonna do something else. Just somebody out there had to come sign me. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody had to come get me and say, "Yeah, hey man, we need you right now." But I mean, come on, let's really be honest. No Oladipo, no Harrow. They started Kevin Love like the first 2 series.
Hey, streets say Kevin Love has never missed the finals when he's made the playoffs.
But our brother Joe say he in Minnesota Kevin Love was mid, I guess he said, pretty much. And that's fine. That's fair. I get it. But they just continue to exceed expectations. That's what Miami does. They just have a different thing over there. They don't. I'm trying to think of the last time Miami had a first round draft pick for real that really flourished. Like who was that? I don't know if Harrow was even first round.
Bam,
I could be
first
wrong.
round, ain't it?
Yeah, Bam. I forgot about Bam. Yeah, I forgot about Bam. And Bam even he was kind of poo-pooed on a little bit pre-draft, in my opinion, because they kind of looked at him like, oh, he's undersized and he can't do this or he can't do that or whatever the case may be. And all he did was make all defensive teams and be like the anchor of the defense. Okay, get it. I got it. But that's the thing. They just evaluate. They understand who they need to fit. Duncan Robinson. We have not talked about Duncan Robinson since the bubble. Let's just be honest. They gave him a bag after the bubble, and ain't nobody said his name until now. And all they told Duncan Robinson was, be ready when your time comes, and he has delivered. Gabe Vincent, never heard of him until now, and he's a starter. He's starting over Kyle Lowry, who is an NBA champion. Okay, and you know how I feel about Kyle Lowry, by the way. You know how I feel about Kyle Lowry.
I do.
On my squad, you know how I feel about that. But okay, whatever. The way they just interchange part, and then look, the young man Haywood Highsmith, like Spo got to stop playing and go head on and give him more minutes because he doesn't do anything that's out of character. If you need him to come in and be a defender, that's what he's going to focus on. He's going to be a defender. If he gets an open shot, he's going to take it. But that kid Haywood Highsmith, as you notice, I think actually he led the team in scoring in that game.
I think that was Bam.
Was it Bam? Well, he was second, right?
I can look it up.
He had more points. He had more points than Jimmy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Jimmy had a bad game. Jimmy
had a terrible game. But
14 maybe.
For some reason, I want to say that young man had like more points than Jimmy in that game.
Yeah, Jimmy ain't had nothing but like 14, so I can believe that. But I'll look it up while you talk.
Okay, but you know, my thing is the Heat culture is just different, and if they pull this off, this has to go down as like the greatest run of all time. Like
now is that team wise or you putting that on Jimmy in terms of the carry job? Because see, that's what I'm really looking at.
That's team wise. Because Jimmy carried the carry job. I can't really give to Jimmy per se, especially in the East, especially in the East Conference Final. Because Caleb Martin was just as vital.
Mm-hmm.
The man missed being MVP by 1 vote, as they told me. Like he would have been the Eastern Conference Final MVP if it hadn't been 1 vote going towards more than Jim, 1 vote extra going to Jimmy. Mm-hmm. So this is just one of them things where it just goes to show you, did they have a little bit of luck? Yes. Giannis was out. So we know, you know, that's a big impact on Milwaukee. But still, do you feel like Milwaukee should have still got it done? Even despite Giannis? Like when you look at that series and you go, well, okay, they ain't got Giannis, but they still got Drew. They still got Chris Middleton. They still got Brook Lopez. They still got Bobby Portis.
Looking at it like that, they probably should have if you got Drew Holiday, first team all defense, if I'm not mistaken, and got the reputation of being arguably the best perimeter defender in the league. Mm-hmm. And he was literally cooked by Jimmy Butler, like destroyed by Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some of the stuff, and then Brook Lopez, you know, he's up there every year, all defense, stuff like that. So it's like, even with Giannis out, you would think that, okay, they still going to stick some D, and Chris Middleton going to make some shots, Drew going to make some shots, Lopez going to make some threes, Porter's going to make some threes, then Giannis going to swoop in and do what he do.
Yeah.
But that was not the case.
That was not the case.
And to your point, yes, Bam was the leading scorer with 26. Because Bam took a lot of shots in this game. He took 25 shots. But 13 of 25, though. Gabe Vincent had 19. But Highsmith had 18.
And he played well.
On only 10 shots.
And so that's my thing, you know. They just evaluate talent and they get guys that buy in, and that's what they want. They don't want nothing different. They don't want no prima donnas. They just want guys that got a workman-like attitude and just go come play. And yes, and the Caleb Martin story, I mean, that's as inspiring as ever when you got J. Cole over here putting in the phone call to get this man work. Like, hey, dog,
that's blessed too, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of motherfuckers don't got no rapper that can get the team on the phone for him. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, but I assume because he was in Charlotte or in the area, and Cole being an NC guy from North Carolina, whatever, and then that they kind of, you know.
Well, why he didn't tell Mike to keep him?
Man, you can't tell. Who gonna tell Mike anything?
I'm gonna stop putting everything on Mike. We don't put everything else on all the owners. I'm gonna try to take.
I'm putting that on Mike. I am. He need He need to be sending apologetic text messages every day. Man, I apologize.
He finna sell.
That, yeah, he better sell.
But you wouldn't. So, I team wise, it's historic.
Team wise,
but in terms of from a Jimmy standpoint, where you putting it up against? Bron 2018, Bron 2020, 2007, AI 2001.
This is the way I describe this whole run with Jimmy though. Like, okay, he destroyed Milwaukee. Like, I ain't gonna sit and act like that didn't happen. Like, he destroyed Milwaukee. We know that. I mean, because we saw this man catch an inbound pass, look like he was dang near horizontal and laid it in with, seconds to spare.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that. Now the series against the Knicks, and I guess I have to go back and really look at the numbers from that series, but it just looked like it was more of a collective to me. And then the Boston series,
I'll give you as a whole real quick, and then I'll try to go back for you for the series stats. But as a whole, Jimmy, so far, as we tape at least, all right, is averaging 27.6 points per game in these playoffs. 7 boards, 5.8 assists, 2 steals, and that is on 48% from the field, 36 from 3, and giving you, I'm around here, 81% from the free throw line. And
I can go with that.
And I'll try to dig into this series for you.
I can go with that. Well, I mean, really, this is an all-time great run because it's one of them things when you really look back on their season, they were in a lot of games. A lot of those games they didn't win per se, but they were in them. A lot of games they had that were less than 6 points, 5 points, whatever. They've always kept games close. So if it was a matter of, hey, let's fix the offense, which you saw in those first 2 series, how their offense was just in a much better space in terms of generating points, generating offense, because they knew the defensive side of the ball, they had it. They had it going on.
That first series, that motherfucker Jimmy averaged 37.6
Oh, yeah,
points.
he was a whole fool that first series. Yeah, he was a whole fool.
Yeah, man. And that was against, again, Drew Holiday supposed to be that shit.
Yeah, but Drew smaller, though.
And that and this. And I want y'all, real ones, y'all hoop heads, y'all pay attention to when you're watching the game. A lot of times now that goddamn matchup don't mean shit since all these teams switching everything.
That's right.
So if I got a lockdown defender on me, all I got to do is call for a screen and get them off of me because they finna switch.
Mm-hmm.
Now the guy who maybe could guard me ain't finna be on me. Now I'm just finna attack your weakest link.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Now we do remember but he got some of them buckets. Some of that 37.6 was on Drew Holiday now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, some of that. But I'm just saying, when you watch the game and stuff, Bron does that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They put somebody that you might think gonna give Bron some trouble on him. Bron just call for a screen, get that motherfucker right up off him, and attack who he want to attack.
Yeah.
So I have no idea why they just so lazily switch everything in the NBA. Now I know they thinking keep somebody in front of the ball at all times, and good things that happen. But you ended up with situations where, okay, LeBron attacking Steph Curry.
That's not what you want.
Jokic on the block now with Jimmy Butler on his ass.
That's not what you want.
It's not gonna work.
No.
It really don't work if Bam guarding them, but
no. I mean, look at the series. Look at game 1 in this series. They went early. Every time looked like Gabe Vincent was on Aaron Gordon. It was barbecue chicken.
But all that damn switching.
If a guard was on Aaron Gordon was finna go up.
And that's what he need to do.
And he's supposed to. I mean, that's simple basketball. You got 6 inches on a guy, you supposed to score on it.
All right, so he had 37.6 in the series against the Bucks.
Right.
24.6 against the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
He had 24.6, 7 boards, 6 assists, 1.6 steals, 1.2 block.
Mm-hmm.
So he clearly across the board the best player on the floor. But in that series, god damn, T, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes did average double figures in that series.
I thought there was a bunch of dudes that got off in that series.
Yeah. And he was the leader. Now in that Boston series, Jimmy averaged 24.7 again. Well, 24.6 last time, 24.7, basically the same. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in double figures in this one. 7.6 boards, 6 assists, 2.6 steals. So like he been the man. But yeah, in that first series, I think we were in awe. Like this motherfucker going Mike. Because Mike had some series where he averaged 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've seen that. And so I think that led to a lot of them memes and shit.
Yeah.
So I was gonna be hyperbolic. See, I had one in the chamber locked and loaded earlier in the run, closer to them Bucks numbers.
Okay.
In which I was gonna say that this run by Jimmy is better than the run by LeBron in 2018.
Okay.
I had it locked and loaded, and I knew I was gonna piss off all of them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But see how, unlike the Bron stands,
Mm-hmm.
I try to be fair.
Okay.
Try to be fair. Because that motherfucker LeBron doing his run in 2018, that son bitch average for that whole playoff run 34, 9 boards, 9 assists, 1.4 steals. Okay. He did that on 54% shooting, 34% from tray ball. Now, y'all know his free throw ain't the best. He's about 75 for Bron. Okay. But he was clearly the best player on the floor.
Right.
But now, this is why, though, I was thinking about it. Because folks forget his opponents were not as hard as what Jimmy and the Heat just did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bron first round, if I'm not mistaken, went 7 with Victor Oladipo
Indiana
led Pacers. Okay.
Yeah.
And some people would say some questionable calls happened, and you can say the Pacers should have won that. Okay. Jim and them, as we just discussed, went against the damn Bucks. Giannis missed 3 games, though. Okay, so we got to put that. All right, the next round you had the damn Toronto Raptors, who clearly they scared of LeBron.
DeMar and Kyle and them.
DeMar and Kyle, you can listen to them talk on these podcasts. They pretty much let you know they. I'm not one of these folks that's finna lie and say nobody fears LeBron, because them motherfuckers did. Okay.
Ain't no lie.
All right. And Jim and them went against the Knicks. So I might say that's a.
Was it Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals that year?
It was baby Boston. It was rookie Jason Tatum Boston. And then you had whatever salary Kyrie had. You had he
was on the bench. He didn't even play.
I know. So I'm saying, like, when somebody hurt, you're not only missing that player, all that money they taking up, you missing all the good players you can have in their place.
Right.
So you had baby Boston. This motherfucker Jimmy and them just went against first team All NBA Jason Tatum, second team All NBA Jaylen Brown.
They did.
6th man of the year, your boy Malcolm Brogdon.
Right. Yep.
Last year's defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart.
Yep.
And then
Time Lord was all defensive
team guy.
Yeah. Yep.
And they beat him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So his opponents, come on now.
Hey man,
his opponents were more difficult.
They were.
I can say, like what people were saying in the Eastern Conference Finals, some folks were saying Caleb Martin should have got maybe conference.
I feel like he should have been MVP.
But see, you wouldn't have said that about Bron in 2018. Like
No.
if they had that award, then it clearly would have been a Bron.
It
So
was
see how I can do that, America.
right.
Okay, we can be fair and balanced here. Okay,
Right.
but this has been a hell of a run. And now one of my young boys asked me about the 01 Sixers. I know people say, and we may have said on here before, AI drug, it was AI and some defenders, but it really was.
It was. I was about to say, are we saying 01 Sixers or 01 Allen Iverson?
But them boys was sticking D. Okay. And well, I don't think people give enough credence.
When you can't score and that's all you asked to do.
And they did it at a very high level, though, T. All right. Dikembe was Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
okay. Aaron McKee, though, if I'm not mistaken, was Sixth Man of the Year. If I'm not mistaken, I had to go look it up. But Larry Brown, who I consider to be,
come on,
if he not the GOAT coach, he number 2. He right there.
Wait, so who you got at 1?
I got Larry
at 1.
I've said it before to you. That man.
We just want say what you said. Say what
Larry Brown is the greatest coach in NBA history. That's why I said
that's what I need right there.
But if somebody gonna argue me, he ain't going no lower than 2 or 3.
Okay. If you made him 2 or 3, who you got above him? Pop?
Maybe Pop, even though Pop been hella blessed. All this Wemby stuff is reminding me of how. Hold on. All this Wemby stuff is reminding me of how blessed Pop was for David Robinson to get hurt like he did, them to be trash and look up on Tim Duncan. Okay. The reason why I hold Pop in such high regard is not for Timmy and not for David Robinson. It's for what he did with Tony and Manu and Kawhi. That's some great shit. What he did with them is amazing.
But we talking.
He grew them.
But we talking a man that came in the league named Emmanuel Ginobili. And
great.
Did nobody know nothing about him? Did nobody know nothing about Tony?
That's true. So
did nobody care nothing about Kawhi for real.
And we doing a Heat segment right now. So I respect Pat more for what he did in New York and Miami, for what he did in LA, because he was hella blessed. Oh yeah. They won a championship without him in LA. But Larry Brown, motherfucker. So that 2001 team wasn't sexy offensively other than AI game
at all.
But they were a hell of a defensive team.
Lord have mercy, they was not.
You know what I'm talking about? Hell of a defensive team. And who else these kids be asking about? 07. I gotta go back
Dallas
and put my eyes on the Dallas. Dallas has come up. That was a team. Dirk was hooping, but folks sleep. Them boys.
Yeah, J Kid.
Folks sleeping, man.
You had Chandler. I think was Chandler all defensive team that year. For some reason I want to say he was.
Better have been.
Like.
They were moving as a unit, man.
Rick Carlisle led.
I caught some of that. My Lakers caught some of that.
Rick Carlisle led. I mean, he
motherfucker was hooping, man.
That was Rick Carlisle, right? We'll say that was Rick Carlisle, wasn't
it?
Yeah.
They were hooping. And Dirk hoop. Without Dirk, they don't do it. But every team need their goddamn superstar to come to the party. Okay,
that's right.
But this run by Jimmy is definitely up there for me. For what I've seen. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna put it on something. I'm gonna put Bron's run up there. Okay.
Before or after Jimmy's?
2018 one. 2018 one. I'm gonna give it to him. Even though you had Kevin Love out there, but I'm gonna say I give it to him. Even though them boys was scared of and all that kind of shit, Bron was hooping. I ain't gonna take that away from him. All right. But this definitely is. I might have to put Jimmy in there 2. I might have to go 2.
Okay.
Because AI had a defensive player of the year. Dirk, like you said, wasn't the defender and nothing like that for real, for real. They had to talk him into participating.
Oh yeah.
So like Tyson gonna hold down that shit. J Kidd came in with all the smarts. Jet,
Yep.
JJ
Jet.
Barrell, like they had motherfuckers really who
Yeah.
that 07. I need to go put my eyes back on that though. Sometimes I be feeling like some of them cats were hooping better than what we remember. I don't know. I had a lot of shit going on in 07.
I understand.
A lot of shit going on in 07. So I'm gonna have to go put my eyes back on those. But masterful run by Jimmy and the Heat, though. All right, shout out to Heat.
Very much so.
All right, put it on son.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?